Imagine a world where kindness rules. Think of a world where a simple smile can make someone's day. Dream of a world where small acts of compassion create a domino effect, touching countless lives. This is the world we can create together, one good deed at a time. Kindness is a universal language that transcends borders, cultures, and languages. It's a simple but profound expression of our shared humanity. A helping hand offered to a stranger, a listening ear for someone who needs it, a kind word spoken with genuine warmth. These small gestures can have a transformative effect, like a domino effect going around the world. Let's explore together the profound impact of kindness and discover how we can cultivate more of it in our own lives and in the world around us. Think about the warmth you feel when you help someone, that good feeling that flows through you. This warmth, this humanity, that's what we want to spread. Throughout history, acts of kindness have been like beacons of hope in dark times. Kindness has always been a key part of human history.
After natural disasters, strangers offer comfort and support. Communities offer shelter, food, and comfort. Think, for example, of the private aid provided during the flood disaster in the Aar Valley or the tsunami in the Indian Ocean on Christmas 2004. These catastrophes led to an unprecedented wave of helpfulness. Volunteers from all over the world traveled to the affected areas to help with the cleanup, medical care, and reconstruction. That's pure humanity.
Kindness isn't limited to grand gestures. A smile or an encouraging word, even small gestures can make a big difference. The power of kindness isn't just some abstract idea, it's a scientifically proven fact. Studies show that acts of kindness have a positive effect on our physical and mental health. When we're kind, our brains release endorphins, which boost our mood and relieve pain.
Kindness is also linked to higher levels of serotonin and dopamine, neurotransmitters that play a role in happiness, motivation, and feelings of reward. That explains why we often feel happier and more fulfilled after doing something kind, similar to how we feel after a long walk in the woods or a nice dinner with friends in good company.
Plus, kindness has been shown to reduce stress and anxiety. When we focus on helping others, we take our minds off our own problems and worries. The benefits of kindness go beyond our individual well-being and create a positive and supportive environment for everyone. Like a stone thrown into water, the ripples of kindness spread out from you to the whole world.
One of the most amazing things about kindness is that it's contagious. When we see someone being kind, it makes us want to be kind too. This domino effect, proven by lots of studies, can start a chain reaction of good vibes that changes people, communities, and even the world. Imagine a stranger doing something nice for someone, like all those people who help others in need, whether it's fixing a bike or carrying heavy bags. Inspired by this act of kindness, the person who received help does something nice for someone else. Maybe they share their umbrella on a rainy day. This chain of kindness keeps going, each act inspiring another, spreading like wildfire and creating a more caring world, just like we see in so many acts of solidarity around the globe. Many groups and communities focus on being kind and caring. Think about all the volunteer projects everywhere, from helping neighbors to supporting refugees. Every culture has these deep-rooted practices. By building a culture of kindness in our homes, schools, jobs, and communities, where people help each other out, like many people around the world already do, we create a domino effect that goes way beyond our immediate surroundings.
Creating a kinder world starts with each of us. It starts with the conscious decision to choose kindness in our thoughts, words, and actions. It means making an effort to understand others and put ourselves in their shoes, especially when they are different from us.
It means giving ourselves and others grace and forgiveness, knowing that we are all imperfect beings who can make mistakes. It also means standing up for what's right, taking a stand, and speaking out against and fighting injustice, even when it's uncomfortable. Imagine if everyone in the world was helpful, kind, and actively fought against injustices, both big and small. How much faster would we as humanity make positive progress and solve the enormous problems we face globally? Even a smile, an encouraging word, can do much more than it seems at first glance.
Creating a kinder world also requires fundamental systemic changes. It means creating measures and structures that promote equality, justice, and compassion, and don't systematically fuel distrust, envy, or even hatred. It means investing in education and programs that teach empathy and understanding as a natural foundation. It means holding our politicians accountable for creating a more just and equitable society so that we can all work together and achieve great things. Let's be the generation that consciously chooses positivity and kindness. Let's lead by example, as bright as the sun, a symbol of hope for a world full of kindness and love, instead of envy and hate. We don't need religions fighting each other for this, because it's fundamentally within every human being by nature.
History is full of examples of kindness. These examples echo through the ages, reminding us that compassion isn't something new. It's a basic human instinct. From the ancient civilizations along the Nile River to empires that rose and fell across continents, acts of kindness have always shaped human societies. Think about the hospitality of the ancient Romans, or the stories of heroes and chivalry in the Nibelungenlied.
In ancient Egypt, the idea of ma'at included truth, justice, order, and righteousness. It stressed living in harmony with yourself, with others, and with the world around you. This way of thinking also included doing good deeds. These were seen as super important for keeping balance and order in society. Almost all religions are still built on this idea today.
In a similar way, philosophers in ancient Greece, like Plato and Aristotle, knew how important kindness and compassion were for individuals and society as a whole. Their stories remind us that the values we care about have deep roots in our shared human history. As Goethe said, "Noble be man, helpful and good." And across different cultures and times, human acts of kindness have crossed geographical borders and cultural differences, promoting unity and highlighting our shared humanity. Take Hypatia of Alexandria, for example. She was a philosopher and mathematician who taught as early as the 4th century AD, completely free of prejudice. She also encouraged the exchange of knowledge, which contributed to Alexandria's intellectual flourishing. From the bustling markets of ancient Rome to the Silk Road that connected East and West, people from all walks of life have performed acts of kindness, big and small, and great selfless deeds, like Gaius Gracchus. As a Roman politician, as early as the 2nd century BC, he advocated for social reforms, including the distribution of grain to the poor and the founding of colonies for landless citizens. His reforms aimed to reduce social inequalities and improve the living conditions of the lower classes, a topic that is more relevant today than ever and needs to be solved. Or Seneca the Younger, a very influential Roman philosopher and statesman who lived in the 1st century AD. He promoted ethical principles such as moderation, self-control, kindness, and humanity, and tried to consistently apply them in political practice. Or the countless traders of the Silk Road who exchanged goods, but also knowledge and kindnesses, thus enabling a connection between cultures and nations. Like a common thread, kindness and humanity run through our history in many ways.
In ancient China, for example, the philosophy of Confucianism emphasized the importance of Ren, or humaneness, which included kindness, compassion, and empathy. Confucius lived from 551 to 479 BC. As a philosopher and teacher, Confucius emphasized the importance of humaneness, Ren, courtesy, Li, and filial piety, Xiao. His teachings promoted social harmony and moral integrity in Chinese society. Confucius believed that the cultivation of humanity was essential for creating a harmonious society. As the old saying goes, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you."
Similarly, in Islam, kindness is considered one of the highest virtues. Here too, as in many other cultures, charity plays an important role. As Umar ibn al-Khattab, the second caliph of Islam, demonstrated, Umar led a simple life and dedicated himself intensely to social justice. He introduced public funds to help those in need and ensured that no one in his community went hungry. Another outstanding example is Henrietta Szold. She is the founder of the Hadassah organization, which built medical facilities in Palestine and dedicated itself to the healthcare of all residents, regardless of their religion or ethnicity. She also played a crucial role in rescuing many Jewish children from Europe during the Holocaust. In India, there was King Ashoka, among others. After very bloody conquests in the 3rd century BC, the Indian emperor converted to Buddhism and from then on promoted only non-violence, religious tolerance and social welfare, which lastingly changed and shaped his empire. This is pure, lived humanity and shows us that people can always change. These examples clearly show us that kindness, humanity and empathy are not limited to a specific culture or religion. It is a universal human language that expresses the best of what it means to be human.
The wisdom of the past offers us valuable insights into the transformative power of kindness. Think about the ancient texts, the folk tales, and the proverbs from around the world. They're full of stories that highlight the importance of compassion, empathy, and generosity. Imagine how much we can learn from them. The Bible, for example, teaches us to love our neighbor as ourselves and to treat others the way we want to be treated. If you take that to heart, you don't have to be a Christian, just a good person. It's like a golden rule for life, isn't it?
In the Buddhist tradition, the concept of metta, or loving kindness, is considered a fundamental practice for developing compassion and reducing suffering. As the saying goes, do good and don't talk about it. These ancient teachings remind us that kindness isn't just a matter of etiquette, but a profound spiritual practice that can transform our lives and the world around us. It's like a stone thrown into the water. The ripples of kindness spread further and further. Throughout history, acts of kindness have shone brightest in times of need. They have shown the resilience of the human spirit and the power of compassion to heal and unite. In the face of war, famine, natural disasters, and social unrest, people and communities have repeatedly shown their capacity for extraordinary kindness. During World War II, for example, amidst the horrors of the Holocaust, there are stories of people who risked their own lives to protect and save Jewish people from Nazi persecution.
Think of people like Oskar Schindler and Nicholas Winton, whose stories have deeply moved the world and of course especially the people and families they were able to save. Oskar Schindler was a German industrialist who actively saved the lives of more than 1,000 Jewish people during World War II by employing them in his factories and thus preventing their deportation. His story was impressively filmed by Steven Spielberg, a film we highly recommend to everyone. Nicholas Winton was a British humanitarian who saved 669 children from Czechoslovakia on the eve of World War II by organizing their departure to Great Britain and thus saving them from the Holocaust. These acts of bravery and compassion bear witness to the unwavering power of human kindness, even in the darkest of times.
The same is true after natural disasters like earthquakes, hurricanes, and tsunamis. There are countless stories of strangers coming together to offer help, comfort, and support to those in need. Like after the Elbe flood in 2002, where all of Germany stood together and proved once again that extraordinary, even terrible events bring out the good in people. These examples show that kindness is not a luxury only experienced in times of peace and prosperity. It is an essential human quality that becomes even more important in the face of adversity.
Like a golden thread woven through the tapestry of time, acts of kindness connect us to those who came before us. They remind us that we are part of a larger human story. From the smallest gestures of compassion to the greatest acts of selflessness, history is full of examples of people who changed the world through their kindness. Take, for example, the extraordinary story of Kata Kollwitz. With her art, she so vividly portrayed the suffering of the working class and the horrors of war. She showed us the importance of empathy and humanity, especially during the darkest of times. Her art, that was her form of kindness, of resistance. Or consider the story of Freya von Moltke. In the midst of the darkest chapter of German history, in the resistance against the Nazi regime, she showed incredible courage and humanity. She helped the persecuted and fought for justice and peace. There are countless examples internationally in all countries, where people have selflessly dedicated themselves to others.
Let's also think about the many unsung heroes and helpers in times of war and post-war periods, where life is incredibly hard and deprived, and yet a very strong sense of solidarity often arises, and people literally give the shirts off their backs or share their last slice of bread with others. These people, and countless others like them, are beacons of hope and give us a positive outlook on the future. They remind us that the kindness of a single person can truly make a difference in the world.
When we think about the history of acts of kindness, we remember that we inherit a rich legacy of empathy and compassion. Think about Irina Schindler, for example, who, despite being Catholic, worked closely with Jewish organizations in the Polish resistance. During the Holocaust, she saved about 2,500 Jewish children by secretly smuggling them out of the Warsaw Ghetto and placing them in safe homes. Or remember the selfless work of Mother Teresa and Albert Schweitzer, whose influence is still felt worldwide today. Mother Teresa was an Albanian Indian nun. She dedicated her entire life to the poorest of the poor in Calcutta. Through her selfless service, she founded the Missionaries of Charity and inspired people worldwide to be more compassionate and charitable. Albert Schweitzer was an Alsatian doctor and theologian who founded a hospital in what is now Gabon and selflessly dedicated his life to medical care in Africa. The stories of those who came before us inspire us to continue their work, to build on their legacy, and create a world where kindness flourishes, a world where we are all there for each other, like one big community. We live in a world that often feels increasingly divided and polarized, yet amidst the challenges we face, the enduring power of kindness offers hope. It's like a warming fire in the cold season, like mulled wine at a Christmas market. Let's honor the legacy of kindness that has been handed down to us through the centuries by embracing compassion in our own lives. By choosing kindness, we not only honor the past but also shape the future. We sow the seeds for a better world just as we plant trees against climate change. For centuries, philosophers and spiritual leaders have praised the virtues of kindness and recognized its profound impact on the human experience. Now science is catching up, providing hard evidence for what our hearts have always known. Kindness isn't just social politeness, it's essential for our well-being. It's like our daily bread, nourishing us.
Recent neuroscience research sheds light on the remarkable way acts of kindness affect our brains and reveals a fascinating interplay between our biology and our behavior. It's like a symphony in the mind.
Studies have shown that when we perform acts of kindness, our brains release a cocktail of feel-good hormones including oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin. A real fireworks display of good feelings. Oxytocin, often called the cuddle hormone, promotes feelings of trust, connection, and bonding, like a warm handshake that tells us, you're not alone. This surge of neurochemicals doesn't just make us feel good in the moment, it also has long-term benefits for our mental and physical health. It's like an investment in our happiness, with interest. Imagine, you're walking down the street, and you see someone struggling with their shopping bags. You offer to help, and when they accept with a grateful smile, you feel a warm feeling in your chest. That feeling, my friends, is the magic of oxytocin.
Oxytocin, often called the cuddle hormone, is released in our brains when we experience physical closeness, like hugging or shaking hands. But it's not just physical contact that releases this powerful neurochemical. Small and large acts of kindness also let oxytocin flow through our bodies. Think of the Berlin airlift, a historical example of solidarity and mutual aid, which surely released a lot of oxytocin.
As oxytocin floods our brain, it creates a cascade of positive effects. It reduces stress and anxiety, lowers blood pressure, and even strengthens our immune system. It's like a domino effect of good feelings, following the motto, do good and don't talk about it.
The positive effects of kindness go way beyond just one person. They affect our relationships, our communities, and even society as a whole. Remember? Like a stone thrown into the water, creating ripples that spread out farther and farther, kindness spreads out too. When we're kind, we create a more positive and supportive environment for everyone around us. It's like a warm ray of sunshine on a beautiful winter day.
Studies have shown that kindness is contagious. Like a catchy tune you just can't get out of your head. When we see someone being kind, it inspires us to be kinder ourselves. This domino effect, known as moral elevation, is proof of kindness's power to spread like wildfire, setting off a chain reaction of compassion. Think about the fan mile during a public viewing. The good mood spreads incredibly fast.
Imagine a workplace where kindness is the norm. Everyone would love to work there. Not like in heavy rush hour traffic, where everyone often just looks straight ahead. Ideally, colleagues always treat each other with respect and consideration, and offer each other support and encouragement without reservation. Leaders value empathy and compassion, creating a culture of trust and positive, constructive collaboration. Like the volunteers of the many food banks worldwide, everyone helps each other.
In today's fast-paced world, stress has become an unwelcome guest for many of us. But in the middle of this chaos, kindness offers a powerful antidote. Think about the small gestures that brighten your day: a smile on the bus, a friendly word from the baker. These are the moments that matter.
Kindness calms our nervous system and promotes well-being. Imagine sitting by a beautiful lake, the sun is shining, you're sharing a piece of cake or enjoying a cold beer in good company with good friends, maybe even at Wanzi. This deep feeling of security, that's the power of connection, of our hormones.
One of the most amazing things about kindness is how contagious it is, from small acts to huge movements. Like a virus of positivity, kindness can spread quickly from person to person. Often, exceptional people with their peaceful and kind ways have inspired millions. Do you know the real story of Santa Claus? He was a bishop in the 4th century who lived in Myra, in modern-day Turkey. He became known for his compassion, generosity, and dedication to those in need. Legends say he helped the poor, supported orphans, and protected persecuted Christians. From these stories, the custom of giving gifts to children on December 6th developed to remember St. Nicholas's kindness and charity.
Mahatma Gandhi also changed the world. Gandhi led the non-violent resistance against British rule in India, and his kindness was legendary. His famous Salt March was an act of civil disobedience against the British salt monopoly and inspired millions to join the independence movement. Nelson Mandela was also part of the violent resistance against the apartheid regime in South Africa before he completely changed and advocated for absolute non-violence and kindness. Mandela fought against apartheid for decades and, after more than 27 years in prison, led the country as its first black president into an era of reconciliation and equality. In this way, individual people, through their kind nature, have changed history for the better. Social scientists have observed and documented this phenomenon in action. One act of kindness can trigger a chain reaction of compassion, carrying many people along with it.
The everyday magic of kindness. Kindness doesn't always wear a Superman costume and doesn't always make headlines. It's often found in the quiet corners of everyday life, in the small gestures that might seem insignificant on the surface, but have the power to brighten someone's day and trigger a domino effect of positivity. It's the warmth of a sincere smile, exchanged with a stranger, a quiet acknowledgement of our shared humanity, like a small light in the darkness making the world a little brighter. Think about the feeling when a stranger offers you their seat on a crowded subway or train and gives you a smile. It's the simple act of holding the door open for someone, a gesture that only takes seconds, but speaks volumes about our willingness to help others unconditionally. It's the cashier at the store who takes the time to ask about our day, and brings a moment of human connection to an everyday task. Almost like sharing a piece of warmth. It's the neighbor who shovels the snow from our sidewalk or mows our lawn without being asked, a quiet act of service that says more than words, like an unexpected daisy in a window box. It's the friend who listens without judgment and offers a safe space to share our joys and sorrows, someone who makes us feel like we belong no matter where in the world we live, our gender or our background. These small, everyday acts of kindness may seem insignificant, but they are the foundation of a more compassionate world. They remind us that we are all connected and that even the smallest gestures can make a difference. They are like the cobblestones of a historic market square, each one small, but together they create something magnificent. Let's fill the world with small acts of kindness, like the river flowing through the city.
Imagine a world where kindness shapes every encounter. A simple smile can brighten someone's day. A kind word can lighten a heavy heart. Think about all the heartwarming moments you've experienced unexpectedly because of other people. It's the driver who patiently waits for a pedestrian to cross the street. It's an unexpected greeting or a nice message. It's the stranger who gives a sincere compliment. It's the person who picks up a piece of trash from the ground. It's the colleague who offers to help with a project, like cooking or baking together. These small gestures create a mosaic of kindness. They remind us that even the smallest acts of compassion can make a big difference, as countless stories, big and small, show internationally.
In our hyper-connected world, where distractions lurk around every corner, one of the greatest gifts we can give another person is the gift of our presence. It's about putting away our phones and truly listening with our hearts, being fully present in the moment and giving the person in front of us our full attention, offering empathy and support without trying to change the other person. The gift of presence is a profound act of kindness. We need to use the digital revolution positively. In the digital age, kindness has found new ways to express itself. Although technology can sometimes seem like a barrier to real connection, it can also be a powerful tool to spread compassion and build a sense of community. Think about the people who connect in online groups to help each other. It's the thoughtful comment under a friend's social media post, offering words of encouragement or support. It's the online review that highlights a restaurant's exceptional service, spreading the positive impact throughout the neighborhood, like a secret tip that gets around. It's the donation to a crowdfunding campaign for someone in need, a small act of generosity that can make a big difference. Imagine how a small donation can help a disaster victim recover. It's the email to a colleague expressing appreciation for their hard work, a simple gesture that can brighten their day. These digital acts of kindness may seem small, but they have the power to cut through the noise of the online world and create meaningful connections. They remind us that even in the digital space, kindness matters. Like a ray of sunshine in the gray Berlin winter weather. Kindness in the workplace and a breath of fresh air. Kindness at work creates a positive atmosphere, increases productivity, and encourages new ideas. Leaders who encourage open communication and respect create a supportive environment. Empathy and understanding are key. Flexible work hours and benefits improve well-being. Just like Berliners say, everything's great. Kindness sweetens the workday, like a piece of Berlin cheesecake. Cultivating kindness, a lifelong practice. Kindness isn't a destination but a journey, a lifelong practice. It's about consciously choosing kindness, even when it's hard. It's like anything you really want to be good at, it's simply a matter of practice, you have to keep at it. It starts with self-compassion and self-respect by treating ourselves with kindness, treating ourselves as if we deserve it. Let's always remember Goethe's words, noble be man, helpful, and good. This also applies to ourselves. This applies especially to ourselves. It's not just loving your neighbor that's important. Self-love must necessarily come first because how can you love other people if you don't love yourself? Cultivating kindness is a lifelong practice, showing up every day with an open heart. In short, let's be kind to each other.
Imagine a world where kindness isn't just a dream, but a real part of who we are, deep down inside us, right from the start. This starts by growing empathy and compassion in our children's hearts. We're planting seeds of kindness that will blossom into a more caring world. Think about the children in Africa. Think about children all over the world. All children are born with these good seeds inside them.
Children aren't born with prejudice, they come into the world with open hearts and a natural way of caring about others. As they grow and learn about the world around them, they learn how to deal with all the different ways people connect with each other. Just like a little tree reaching for the sky, a child's empathy grows.
As parents, teachers, and caregivers, we have a big job to help these seeds of empathy grow, to raise a generation that really gets what kindness, respect, and compassion are all about. What we say, what we do, and the kind of world we create around them shapes how they understand what it means to be human. It's like a marathon. Every step, every little thing we do matters.
Teaching kindness isn't about making a bunch of rules or expecting perfect behavior. It's about making a safe space where kids can explore their feelings, understand other people's points of view, and figure out their own sense of right and wrong. It's about teaching them to live with each other, not just next to each other, and to overcome the feeling of being just a face in the crowd in a big city.
From their very first breath, children are like sponges. They soak up information and signals from their surroundings. Every encounter, every observation, every experience shapes their understanding of the world and their place in it. With every step in their development, their capacity for empathy expands, allowing them to build deeper connections with other people.
One of the most effective ways to plant compassion in young hearts is through storytelling. Stories have the power to transport us to other worlds, introduce us to different characters, and bring us closer to experiences unlike our own. Stories open our eyes to the lives of others and make us more receptive to unfamiliar worlds.
Through stories, children learn the importance of kindness, empathy, and compassion in a playful and memorable way. They can put themselves in others' shoes, see the world from different perspectives, and develop a deeper understanding of the connection between all living beings. Treating every child right is crucial for raising empathetic new generations who can change our world for the better.
Beyond storytelling, everyday situations offer countless opportunities to reinforce these values. Involving children in household chores, having them participate in community activities, and showing them how to treat others with empathy are valuable ways to nurture compassion in their hearts. For example, how about baking a cake for the neighbors with the kids or picking up trash together in the park, as you so often see in big cities?
The effects of teaching children kindness go way beyond the child themselves. When we nurture empathy and compassion in young minds, we create a domino effect that spreads outwards, influencing families, communities, and ultimately the world. Think about the countless social projects worldwide that give dignity and hope to so many people, like the Berlin Tafel or the many homeless initiatives. This commitment arises from the desire to do good.
Children who learn to treat others with kindness and respect are more likely to carry these values with them throughout their lives. They are more likely to grow into compassionate and engaged citizens, build strong and healthy relationships, and make positive contributions to their communities. Imagine how much better your neighborhood would be if everyone were a little more considerate and a little more positively involved, almost like an idyllic small town.
When children witness kindness and compassion, they feel inspired to do the same. They learn that even small gestures can make a big difference in the lives of others, and they are more likely to lend a helping hand when they see someone in need. As the saying goes, little strokes fell great oaks.
In a world that often feels increasingly divided and polarized, teaching children kindness is not just a good idea, but a crucial investment in a more just, equitable, and compassionate future. It's like a seed we plant so that a strong plant grows, bearing the fruits of humanity. Parents should always set a good example because they are the first and most important role models for children.
Kids are keen observers, constantly watching and learning from the adults in their lives, for better or for worse. They pay especially close attention to how their parents and caregivers act, since they look up to them. So, parents have a huge impact on how their kids understand kindness and compassion.
When children see their parents treating others with kindness and respect, it sends a powerful message that these values are important. They learn that kindness isn't just something we talk about, but something we live out in our everyday actions. Like the saying goes, we don't learn for school, but for life.
This doesn't mean parents have to be perfect all the time. Actually, it's important for kids to see that everyone makes mistakes, and what matters most is how we handle those mistakes. Nobody's perfect, right? When parents apologize for their mistakes and show forgiveness, they teach their kids valuable lessons about grace and compassion. As the saying goes, We learn from our mistakes.
When parents make a conscious effort to include kindness in their everyday lives, they pass on values to their children that will extend beyond their family and impact their entire lives. They become beacons of compassion, inspiring others to follow their lead and create a more humane world for everyone, a world where people's values are in perfect harmony with each other.
We need to create a culture of kindness in schools.
Schools are communities where kids develop social and emotional skills. A culture of kindness creates a positive learning environment. Students feel valued, respected, and safe, like a warm blanket on a cold winter day.
Emphasize clear expectations and highlight the importance of empathy. Celebrate differences, don't tolerate bullying, and speak out against injustice. Stories of moral courage like those of the Scholl siblings. The siblings, Hans and Sophie Scholl, were members of the White Rose resistance group who, during Nazism in Germany, called for resistance against the Nazi regime by distributing leaflets. Every single person can make a difference.
Schools promote kindness through programs and initiatives. Character education, service learning, and also peer mediation. Like when we bake a cake together as a family.
Kindness as a core value influences families, communities, and the world. Like the beat of a butterfly's wings, let's unleash this storm of kindness. It's about actively empowering the next generation to make the world a better place.
Teaching kids about kindness doesn't mean creating a generation of passive bystanders. It's about empowering them to be active agents of change. It's about instilling in them the belief that they have the power to change the world, no matter how small they may seem. Just as our children of the past shaped today, our children of today can shape the world of tomorrow.
Children are naturally idealistic and compassionate. They are often the first to recognize and speak out against injustice, like a small seed that grows into a mighty tree.
This can take many forms, from encouraging participation in community projects, getting involved in a club, or helping out at an animal shelter to supporting their efforts to raise awareness about the issues they care about. It's about giving them the tools, resources, and encouragement they need to raise their voices and create a more just and compassionate world. Imagine every child throwing a pebble into the water. The ripples of change would spread far and wide.
The challenges facing our world today may seem daunting, but we should never underestimate the power of a generation raised with kindness and compassion. By empowering our children to make the world a better place, we are investing in a better future for all. A future as bright as the sun over the vast horizon. In a world that's more connected than ever, kindness and compassion are becoming even more important. Acts of kindness go beyond cultural differences and remind us that we're all part of the same human family. These small acts of kindness, step by step, create a more compassionate world. Imagine a world where kindness is a constant and unwavering reality. Communities around the world united by compassion, empathy, and generosity. A beautiful mosaic of humanity.
This vision is achievable. Think about your own positive experiences and share them.
People worldwide are working tirelessly for a more compassionate world. Small gestures, big actions, everything counts.
Khalsa Aid provides humanitarian help in India.
They embody the spirit of compassion, like a comforting ray of sunshine.
Shining hope for communities in Kenya is breaking the cycle of poverty.
Their work changes lives, a glimmer of hope for change.
Countless organizations are working towards a more just world, an orchestra where everyone plays their part.
Together we can make a difference. Each of us can be a conductor of kindness. In our increasingly digital world, technology has become both a mirror and a megaphone, reflecting the best and worst of humanity.
While social media can sometimes feel like an echo chamber of negativity and division, it can also be a powerful tool for connecting people, amplifying acts of kindness, and inspiring positive change. Just think about all the fundraising efforts after major natural disasters. Social media has really helped in those situations.
Crowdfunding platforms, for example, have made it easier than ever for people to come together to support those in need.
Whether it's raising money for medical expenses, disaster relief, or educational initiatives, crowdfunding has the power to harness collective generosity and make a tangible difference in the lives of people and communities. Almost like a digital collection plate, only much more effective.
Social media platforms can also be used to raise awareness about important social issues, mobilize volunteers, and connect people with organizations working at the forefront of change.
Hashtags like #GivingTuesday, #RandomActOfKindness, and #DoGood have become rallying cries for compassion, inspiring millions of people worldwide to engage in good deeds, both online and offline. Imagine if everyone actively used the hashtag #DoGood and put it into action just once a day. What a difference that would make!
By harnessing the power of technology for good, we can amplify acts of kindness, connect with like-minded individuals and organizations, and inspire collective action for a more compassionate world.
In a world often divided by disagreements, culture, and beliefs, acts of kindness serve as powerful reminders of our shared humanity. They have the power to overcome barriers, build bridges of understanding, and create a more harmonious world. Think about the many small acts of kindness we can experience every day, from helping someone carry groceries to a friendly smile on the subway.
For example, interfaith dialogue groups bring people of different religious backgrounds together to promote understanding, respect, and cooperation. By sharing their beliefs and values openly and honestly, similar to philosophizing in Mauer Park, participants challenge stereotypes, build relationships, and find common ground. They realize that despite their different beliefs, they share common values.
Cultural exchange programs offer people from different cultures the opportunity to learn from each other, experience different ways of life, and develop a deeper understanding of the richness and diversity of human experience. Like visiting a Turkish market at Maybachufer, which transports us to another world full of spices and scents. These programs foster empathy, overcome prejudice, and create lasting friendships.
These are just a few examples of how people around the world are building bridges of understanding and creating a more harmonious world through acts of kindness. It's like a domino effect of kindness that can radiate from each individual to the whole world.
A kinder world needs big changes. Investing in education, health, and social programs helps everyone. Education helps people understand and care about each other. Healthcare is really important for everyone to be well. Social programs help people who need extra support. It's all about being there for each other.
Individual acts of kindness are important, no doubt, but often it's collective action that really makes a difference. When people join forces with a common goal, their combined strength can move mountains. Think of the many great organizations in Germany that are committed to the community, like the many volunteer fire departments or the food banks. There you can see what community can achieve.
Kindness has the power to change the world. History has shown us this time and time again, scientific studies prove it, and we experience it ourselves every single day. Now it's about all of us working together, everyone doing their part to make the world a better place, like joining in on a neighborhood cleanup or organizing the lantern parade. Let's do this together, all generations united.
The world we create for future generations will be a reflection of the choices we make today. Will it be a world defined by division, fear, and indifference, or a world where kindness, compassion, and empathy prevail? The answer lies within each of us. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, is a vote for a better world. It's proof of our belief in the inherent goodness of humanity and our commitment to shaping a better future for all. Imagine the paradise on earth we can create together. Imagine a world where kindness isn't just an occasional act, but a core principle and a way of life for entire societies. Where empathy is taught as a core subject in schools, not how to be stronger, faster, and better, and how to outdo others. Where compassion is the law in the workplace, and there's no alternative. And where generosity and solidarity are naturally integrated and indispensable in all our communities. That's the legacy we can leave behind. A world where kindness and empathy aren't just an illusion but a lasting reality. It's a world where future generations can thrive, knowing they're part of something bigger than themselves, something beautiful and enduring, something more enduring than the pyramids of Egypt.
The time for kindness, friendliness, and empathy is now. Hate and exclusion have no place in our society. The world is crying out for more compassion, more empathy, more understanding. It's time to answer this call, not with big announcements, but with small, everyday acts of kindness. Imagine your city or town lit by the warm light of kindness. Every little bit helps. Let's make a conscious effort to be kinder to ourselves, to each other, and to the world we share. Let's challenge ourselves to step outside our comfort zones, to reach out to those who are different from us, and to help those who need help. Let's always remember that together we can achieve great things and create a culture of kindness and love. Just as the Berlin airlift once helped, so too can we build bridges. Let's raise our voices to fight injustice, to stand up for the disadvantaged, and to create a more just and compassionate society for all. Just as the Berlin Wall fell, so too can the walls of indifference and prejudice fall in all minds. Let's use the power of technology to spread good deeds, connect with like-minded people and organizations, and inspire collective action for a better future. Even the longest journey begins with a small but decisive first step. Let's take this step together now, with open hearts and the common goal of creating a world where kindness and humanity prevail. Like a small plant that is nurtured and cared for, kindness can grow in all of us and change the world. If you want to be a part of this movement, subscribe to the channel and recommend it to others so that our movement of kindness, empathy, and goodness can steadily grow. And always remember, one world, one love.